boys and girls, we are really lucky that we have, I'm still waiting for a few people who are still talking and who are not showing me good audience behavior. We're really lucky today because we have musicians from the Juggerloos Jug Band who are here to perform for us today and also to tell us about the history of their music and how their instruments work and how they got their instruments, and they're going to play some songs for us. So today, I want you to put your hands together and give a warm welcome to the Juggerloos Jug Band.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, yes, we are the Juggerloos. We call ourselves a jug band. The reason we call ourselves a jug band is because we got a guy playing a jug here. He's going to tell you about that in just a minute. But jug band music used to be a really big thing here in Louisville. Back in the days before there were television sets and radios. Radio hadn't even been invented yet. And people used to sit on their porches or gather together on the street corners and play music. And a lot of the music that they played was a style of music that was known as jazz. It was a brand new type of music that was just coming on the scene. And it traveled to Louisville on the riverboats. How many of you, ladies and gentlemen, have seen the Belle of Louisville? You know what I'm talking about, the Belle of Louisville? Well, the Belle of Louisville is a riverboat. And there used to be a whole lot of those riverboats that traveled between up and down the Ohio River and the Mississippi River and such. And so they heard this music played on those riverboats, and they wanted to play it themselves, but oftentimes they couldn't afford the really expensive instruments that it took to play that music, so they kind of made things up as they went along, and they found things normally that they had around their house in order to make music with. One of those was the jug. Frank's going to tell you a little bit about the jug.
How are you? My name's Frank. I play the jug, and to those of y'all, it's kind of like beatboxing, you know. Yeah, you can talk me to that. All right. But the jug took the place of like the tuba and the trombone. It was the bass, the low end of the songs, and it was one of the things that they used to get that sound without actually having the instruments. And there were other instruments too, like the clarinet, the kazoo, Tim plays.
There's a couple notes on your jug here, Frank. Just show us how to do it. Thank you. So it's kind of one of those things that your mama tells you not to know.
As Frank was saying, I'm playing the kazoo here, and the kazoo kind of filled in for instruments like the clarinet, different horn instruments. Who can't help but smile when they hear kazoo, right? But now they also needed a way to kind of keep the beat, right? So what they did, I'll let Bruce tell you about the washboard.
Okay, my name's Bruce, and I play the washboard. And in the 1800s, this is how you would wash your clothes. Folks would take one of these, put them in a bucket, and then they would wash their clothes, and it took about 5 minutes to wash one pair of socks. Can you imagine doing that for your whole family every day? So this was a washing machine in the 1800s. You dumped it in water, and you rubbed up and down. So they needed percussion to play in the jug band, so people started thumping and scratching on these, and it turned out they made a pretty good sound. And the cymbals, everybody likes the drums. And the cymbals they made out of stuff they found around the house. So that's things that you guys can do too.
So those are the three. There were a lot of other instruments too that people came up with. Oftentimes guys would make homemade banjos, or they would be able to afford an inexpensive guitar from mail order catalog and stuff, and they would just get together and entertain each other doing that. Now we're going to